everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezers Show, your weekly rock news outlet. Try and keep you updated on what's happening around the rock world. And oh boy, we got a lot of good stuff going on. Of course, we got the Mono Brown Twins Oasis. They're there. We got Ghost on the news this week. Jake E. Lee's got some splaining to do. And as I lay dying, they're giving us a little final update. The singer has finally spoken up. A little Alex Van Halen news. He's all over the place. Sabbath, Billy Corgan, and more, all here on Gilligan's Island. I'm just kidding about that. But nonetheless, I'm your host, Murph. Yeah, welcome. And can't do it without my co host. And that would be the legend of Aurora, Illinois. And that would be Doc Box. What's shaking, Doc?
Yeah, doing all right. Thanks for everybody for checking in on us. And if you haven't checked in on us before, we do this every Monday, give you the rock news from the previous week. And of course, this Monday is on the eve of the big election that the much anticipated and
Oh,
highly
boy.
awaited. And
Be glad it's all
yeah,
over.
I'll tell you what, man, big time. But
Politics sucks. Bunch of narcissists, pardon me. Okay, let's get on with the show.
yeah, given that the world hasn't ended and you're still around to watch the show, yeah, let's get into what happened this week, man.
True that. Yeah. Oasis, the good boys of Oasis. They're on our radar again, by golly. And this is a good thing. Doggone it. They warned people that they weren't going to tolerate any of this ticket gouging. We've been heard a lot about gouging lately. Ticket gouging and what do they call it, dynamic pricing. And by golly, Oasis says we're not going to allow it. You're going to get pay. You're going to pay face value, and that's that. Sure enough, though, their headline here from the good people of Enemy. Oasis are preparing to cancel more than 50,000 tickets sold via the secondary ticket site. So there you go. That's 4% of the tickets to their upcoming UK tour. So there you go. We warned you. They're gonna be canceling thousands of tickets, and people didn't listen to them. They should have listened. What do you think about that, Doc?
Yeah, they're going to be canceling about 50,000 tickets, which is about 4% of the total sales. Which putting that message out there that they were going to do that curtailed it quite a bit because typically they get about 20% sold on the
Wow.
secondary market. So it was a deterrent for sure, but not the 4% of the people. And now, yeah, those tickets getting canceled and they'll get regenerated. They'll get
All
put back
invalidated
in the
tickets
system.
will then be made
Yeah,
available again through
yeah.
Ticketmaster at face value. So they're doing their part because let's face it, the band has set their price. And it's
Well,
just
they
these
had some
ticket.
stuff going on with the dynamic pricing too, and some fans aren't too happy
Well, I
with
mean,
that. And we're
the
gonna have
band
it.
set their price for doing the show, so everything's set in. So the ticket price is set in. So this is dynamic stuff is just
Right.
bullshit. It's just the ticket people getting rich off of this, and not necessarily the band. They've already got set their price for the gig. So this is really bizarre. So good for them, though. For trying. You know, we'll, we'll see how long the tour lasts. Because holy cow, the people are betting though, and they're gonna be going all over the world. It looks like, So boy, I hope they can hang in there. I
Yeah, it's
hope they
still
can
kind of
stand
limited.
each
Even when they
other.
come over here, it's just the 3 shows. So yeah, it's kind of a little mini world tour, I guess. But
Yeah, they're gonna
and,
do
and
some
I said from the
Australia.
beginning, I think they're just taking it in little increments, man, and little steps just to see how things are going before they really overcommit to things. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, seemingly they're pretty serious about the thing here between them and Robert Smith. Man, they're gonna take care of this stuff. But
Everything's gonna be sold out. The whole everything. There's not gonna be a gig that won't be sold out, and there'll be
oh, I'm
demand
sure,
for even
absolutely, yeah.
more. Second gigs and third gigs at venues and whatnot. We'll see what happens. Like you said, it's probably a good idea, and they're not gonna be performing at Glastonbury 2025. They said that they don't need that crap. you know, I imagine it's not fun doing one of those festivals with all the different bands, all the different equipment, the quick setup, the quick tear down, all this BS when they're doing a sold out tour. They don't. They don't need that. What do you think about
Well,
that,
I don't
Doc?
know. There's a time and place for kind of doing the festivals. There's I'm sure there's different liabilities that they don't have, things of that nature. But yeah, they kind of done Glastonbury before. It's kind of been there, done that kind of thing, and you know,
Yeah, yeah.
there's
And
more when they were doing it for business, and now they're doing it and for their career, and now they're doing it just kind of for fun, really. I mean,
yeah,
well, not for
yeah.
fun, but
Richard Ashcroft will be opening for them too, including
Richard
cast.
Ashcroft of the Verve
Ooh, wow, Doc. You're just
pipe, the Verve pipe.
for pipe.
Yes,
Had to get pipe in there, doggone it. But yeah, good for them.
I get those two bands mixed up, the Verve and the Verve Pipe. They came out about the same. One's from Arizona, and one's British. I know, but
oh,
anyway,
how about that? But yeah, so at least they're trying, with this dynamic pricing stuff. And boy, if there's ever a concert that's going to need a control on the dynamic pricing, it's going to be this one. Because holy smokums, man, that's whack, Jack. So we'll see what happens with them. But wow, that's going to be a crazy tour. I'm not going to. I'm sure it'll be what? It'll probably be at the stadium or something when he comes into
I think it's
Chicago.
Soldier Field. I think it's
Oh, they're
over
doing
there
so.
by the Soldiers Field. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, the Soldiers Field there, eh?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
over by there.
Over by there, by the Soldier Field there. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't blame them because they're going to make just a ton of money, and I'm sure they deserve it after all the crap they've been through. And here we go. Here's another tour that's going to make a ton of money, and that would be the Ghost Tour. Oh, they're a good-looking bunch. But you need a little sun. Get out in the sun more, boys, if I might. But yeah, they're going to be embarking on a world tour in 2025. They're going to kick off in Europe, in Manchester. You know where that is, Doc? That's in the United Kingdom,
Oh yeah,
Manchester. Yeah, and they're going to conclude. They're going to do that April 15th and conclude May 24th in Oslo, Norway. Ooh, yeah. And then their North American stuff kicks off by July 9th. But here we go. Okay, according to Ghost, the show will be a phone free experience. Phones will be secured in yonder pouches. Guests maintain possession of their phones at all times. And you, Doc, you're saying to yourself, yonder, what's over yonder? A pouch? You say to yourself, no, it's a yonder pouch. And there it is right there. There's a yonder pouch for you. And you put your phone in it, and the damn thing locks up. And
it's
the thing
magnetic,
underneath it,
right?
yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's
Yeah, I think it's
horrifying.
magnetic. Yeah,
Well, it must be a hell of an magnetic. Yeah, but the round thing underneath it is the unlocking doohickey. I will call it a doohickey, and they'll set them outside of the concert area. But I don't know. I got pros and cons on this one, Doc. I don't know. Uh, Too many people. I'd like having my phone in there just to take a picture or two. Because usually we're in the lawn, we're looking at the big screen. I'll take a couple of pictures. I'll take a couple of pictures just to show that we're there. But yeah, too many people just keep it up the whole damn show, and it screws up the experience. But at the same time, I don't want to, I don't want my phone in jail during the concert.
right.
That's a jail right there, baby. That's the big house right there.
Dude, anxiety. Everybody's gonna have anxiety, man. Everybody's gonna be so anxious because they don't have access to their phones. They're not gonna know what to do. They're just what if somebody calls? What if I need to call? What if just oh my gosh.
Oh, the
I mean,
selfies. I can't take a selfie.
you
Oh,
know, it's one of those things you kind of agree with the sentiment of it, but in practice, yeah, it might be a bit much, man. I don't know. I heard about it, a magnetic thing. I just assumed that I likened it to like I don't know, like security theft devices, like at a store or something, where they gotta take the little magnetic thing off or something. But
wow.
yeah, yeah, you got
Yeah,
going and how much is that going to cost in just extra security people to make sure to hand those out and
just
make sure you because
it
people are
just
going to have questions. How do you do this? What's going on?
oh.
It's good. I don't
And
know.
they're
I don't
gonna
see
be
it going
they're
smoothly at
gonna be
all.
inside the concert trying to rip them things apart. Come
Right?
on, get out of here. I myself would hide a razor blade in a unspecified place and take
Right?
it apart. But yonder founder Graham Dugoni, there you go, says the pouches were created for quote phone-free spaces where creativity and productivity could flourish in the absence of technology. Phones, Apple Watches, oh my, Apple Watches too, and other communication devices
Right?
are placed in the pouch and sealed using a magnetic lock, which can be opened with an unlocking base. Holy schmokums, Doc. No, I would.
Well, I hope they
Geez.
certainly communicate that, because if I went to a show not knowing that and ran into
Oh,
that,
oh boy. Keep a razor blade on you at all times, Doc. That's what I would do. What the hell? Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just but at the same time, like I say, you see concert, because quite honestly, a lot of the YouTube music concerts I watch is from some doofus out there with his phone up recording it. Doggone it. See, now I'm hooked. What do you do? Geez, you see so many phones up there. It really does take away from the good old days. Oh, the good old days. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, man. Like you say, pros and cons, but Ghost is going to give it
yeah,
a
it just
try.
seems a bit much. I mean, physically lock them up. I mean, boy,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it flies, man. We'll see how it goes, but see how it affects ticket sales. I don't know.
I don't think
I mean,
people
they
are
got a
going to
pretty
like
loyal
that.
following. I would think folks would still come to the shows, but boy, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see if it catches on. See if anybody else does it.
Well, yeah. Oh, I'm sure plenty will try too. Yeah. So there you go, man. Also in the news again. There he is again, Jakey Lee. Jakey Lee had some splaining to do because we did question a few sections of his explanation, if you will. We are still wondering what's going on here. But first, a drink. So anyway, so he's up 2:30 in the morning. He gets sees a couple of guys in all black, walks up to him. They shoot him. Blah blah blah. There's a short story. But he said that two people walk. He saw two people. He's walking at 2 or 3 in the morning. Here's his explanation. Let me see. This is crazy. He says, "Hi, been 2 weeks, so I feel I should post something. I'm on the mend, no complications so far. Can't put any weight on my foot for another month. Yeah, yeah. Knee scooter around the house, more fun than a walker. No updates from the detectives on the case. I will address a time of the day I was walking my pup at to fill some space in this post. I'm a night owl, always have been. My wife works graveyard in a casino. 2, 3 in the morning is the middle of the day for us. Now, this is a good point here. And during the summer, with temperatures at 115 to 120 degrees during the day, walking Coco in the early morning could still be over 100 degrees. So we walk when it's coolest and have for the last 2 years without mishap until recently. And I would add my own personal thing to that. When I saw two nefarious guys dressed up in all black and with black hoods on over their faces at 89-degree weather, and I walked up to them to see what was going on. So see, there's where it still gets shady, Doc, because it's fine. So you're walking your dog in the morning, but what are you doing walking up to two strange guys dressed in all black? If it's still that warm, I'm sure it's not cold enough to be wearing masks and all black. So there's still shade in this story, if you will. Come out.
Well, he's kind of prefacing his thing that it's cooler then, and it's in the middle of the night, so yeah, whatever. Probably not that cool though.
Yeah, well, Jiminy Creepers. So yeah, he survived three shots. He was shot in the forearm. He was shot in the back with a bullet breaking a rib, and he was shot in the foot. Man, oh man, he got lucky. Holy smokums, Jiminy Creepers. But yeah, wow, don't go
And he
out.
was shot in the dark.
Oh wow, good call, Doc. If I only had a snare and a cymbal nearby, I'd give
Yeah.
you a rim shot there. Great call. But yeah, that's just still walking up to two strangers. No, 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 no. That's if he could see they were in all black.
You see
So
too
and
later in the
then
statement there, he says, "Yeah, the police found 15 shells. I could only dodge so many." What are you in the
ooh.
freaking Matrix, dude? What are you? You're dodging bullets now, man. I can only dodge so many.
uh
Come on,
well,
come on,
let's not
man, dude.
forget,
I'm standing by. I
they
something's fishy, man. Something
yeah,
smells
well, yeah.
fishy in Denmark.
He told them,
I,
"You walk that way, I'll walk this way. It's all good." Yeah, sure. I see that. I see it in all the crazy police videos on YouTube I watch. They always tell it,
yeah,
walk the different way.
yeah.
See,
dude.
no,
Some
it's
just
still.
talking about I could only dodge so much, and still, why explain that? Why explain that? You've just been shot 3 times, and you're worried about explaining why you were outside. Something
Well, we'll get to
it's
it.
not lining up to me, man.
One thing I do know with watching a lot of the programs I watch is detectives. They'll get it. They'll get to the bottom of it. The detectives will figure it. The detectives will
But
figure it out. We'll get the truth. So come on, Jake, come clean. Let's hope you're not a friend of P Diddy. Come on. I'm sure we ain't. Sure, a lot of people are a friend of P Diddy who are really freaking out right about now.
sweating it out right about now.
Another list. The Epstein list died somewhere. We'll see if P Diddy's list gets to the
Well,
light
just
of
from stuff
day.
to get on a tangent, but just from stuff I've seen, and I haven't followed up on, see if it's right or not. Could be just clickbait. I don't know. But a lot of folks are leaving the country, man. So I
Oh
don't know.
boy. Oh no.
We'll see.
Oh goodness, you naughty people. See, entertainers, you got to keep your wits about you. You got to keep your wits about you. You know who didn't keep their wits about them, Doc?
Tell me.
Sorry to say. That is Tim Lambesis from As I Lay Dying. Ah, Tim, Jiminy Creepers. The whole band's gone now. The last remaining member besides Tim Labresis has bugged out. So the whole band's gone now. And like you said last week, now that the whole band's gone, just start a new band. Well, they had it
Right?
when he was in prison. The remaining members actually had a band going. So they had the right idea, and boy, what a stinking mess this place is. I'll tell you what. But yeah, they've totally broke up now. And he says, Tim Lambesis says, "Hi everybody. This is a pretty long, so bear with me. Hi everybody. I needed some time to process all that has happened recently with AILD. As I reflect, I certainly agree that there was an unhealthy environment that made leaving for a new tour with the previous lineup unrealistic. It had become difficult to figure out even the smallest details, and I admit I can stick strong to my vision for the future of AILD, even when others think it should go in a different direction." Well, there's the bullet point right there. It saddens me to think that about the behaviors, communication, and patterns of interaction that led to the tour's cancellation. Phil and I no longer see eye to eye, personally, creatively, or financially. Discussions during this time prompted his decision to depart first, with each of the touring members deciding to leave shortly after, as they were not interested in going out without him. Unfortunately, that wasn't the order in which everything was made public, as some statements were rushed out during a chaotic time in response to rumors. I fully support each of the guys' decision to leave and believe at this time it is best for everyone. With that being said, my door will always remain open to discussing anything directly, as I believe closing communications leads to many assumptions and problems of its own. Now, regarding what's next, AILD was founded on persistence and determination. For anyone who's familiar with the foundation, blah, 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 you know that more than 20 people who I'm incredibly grateful for have come and gone to help bring to life this vision I had in my head since I was 19 years old. I look forward to building a new team and creating an
Okay.
atmosphere that is supportive, positive, and fosters a creative environment. So, okay, out with the old and with the new. Gosh.
Again,
Wow.
right? He's been through this a couple
Again,
times
wow,
now. So
20
yeah.
different, well, where is it? Look at this here. There's part of
Oh, one of
their
those kind of charts. Yeah. I see. No,
one of
yeah,
their
I like
charts. You
those.
can see where he was in prison right here. Oops, no members, no nothing. Then he came back in with new guy. Just it's total mess. So yeah. I think the rest of the band, boy, if they were a hot deal, I would say heck with this noise. Let's get together and do our own thing, because they had a band going. I just can't remember the name of it at this moment. So boy, oh boy, they ought to do something. My gosh, that's crazy, crazy
Yeah,
town with
right
them
before he
boys.
put that statement out, guitarist Phil Segrosso, I guess I put
Mm-hmm.
SGROSSO, and
Yep.
he put out his statement, and it's this, it's typical kind of statement, pretty vague, no real specifics in it, but just saying concerning patterns of behavior. That's kind of why he's leaving, and And also too, is kind of oddly enough, their 2019 album called "Shaped by Fire" has been pulled from streaming
Oh yeah.
services.
Oh yeah. They
So
got a new album coming out too.
right, and they got
The
one coming out.
15th.
Right,
The
they
15th of this
canceled the
month.
tour. They had the promotional tours all set,
Wow.
and they had to cancel that. But they're
Oh
saying it's
boy.
because it was the end of a 5-year deal. But I don't know. I don't see anybody else getting pulled off because the end of a deal. You renew that stuff, right? Or I'm assuming. But
Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh
yeah, it
boy, oh
seems like this
boy.
band's in disarray to say the least.
Well, the singer seems to be totally out of his mind, totally in control. And he started the band, so obviously he's got control of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
So, the rest of the
Yeah,
guys should
last week
just,
I was wondering why don't they just kick him out and get a new singer and go on, but apparently yeah, it's his band. He's the guy, so
well, they did some work while he was in prison, so they ought to just start that band up if they all like each other and say hell with it, man. We've had enough of you, dude. Gosh, that's just crazy.
well, that's pretty much Alter Bridge, right? It's Creed without Stapp, right?
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
Miles Kennedy, yeah. So
True that, brother. True that, by golly. So yeah, they're just totally out of their freaking minds. But that's to be expected from rock and rollers. Oh, here we go. Here's a great, lovely little story. A little story about Cowbell. Boom, there he is right there, the Cowbell King. Everybody knows and loves him. I do, yeah, for sure. Alex Van Halen, he gets a signature 8-inch cowbell from Latin Percussion. Latin Percussion being basically a legendary maker of percussion instruments. And so, yeah, finally, it's like, what the, now you give him, jerk offs. Now you give him one. He should have had one right after the first album, for crying out loud. My God. At least after, boy, just really, wow.
yeah, who knows how that stuff comes about though, who initiates it or what kind of legal stuff's gotta go on. Who knows? But
legal
yeah, they got
mumbo
one coming
jumbo.
out. It's chrome plated and it's got the VH logo on it, and it's yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 8-inch signature, it's got Alex's signature, VH on it, and all that good stuff. It's got there fitted with the patented Jennigo Ridge Rider Brar for dampening and durability. The patented self-aligning eye bolt that mounts to any 3/8 to half-inch diameter rod. Yeah, it'll fit my rod. Half-inch diameter, Doc. Woohoo! It pumps out high-pitched sound with the dry overtones, making it great for punching accents into any big groove. I like Alex's version. Alex says, I have loved every minute of working with LP to create my signature cowbell, says Alex. It's incredibly versatile, and its distinctive honk will add to the sonic landscape of almost any genre of music. So he describes it as honk. That's great. That's great. Oh yeah, yeah. Speaking of Alex, yeah, and of course the legendary Bruce Dickinson session with Blue Oyster Cult behind me there, recording "Don't Fear the Reaper." Yeah, yeah, that was great cowbell work there because he needed more cowbell. Bruce Dickinson definitely needed more cowbell, and of course
And
we
they
all know
did their homework. That was a producer's name. That's the thing. I'm not Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden fame,
it
but
really was.
that was their producer's name, Bruce Dickinson.
Was it
Yeah,
really?
yeah, yeah,
Holy
yeah.
cow! Wow, dig that. And of course, let's not forget Alex's. He's selling his book and talking and all this stuff. And little Diddy came up in his new memoir, Brothers. Former Van Halen drummer Alex Van Halen revealed that David Lee Roth's exit from the band in '85 was due to jealousy over Eddie's attention. Alex shared that Roth asked Eddie Van Halen to play fewer guitar solos. Quote, he couldn't handle the fact that Eddie was getting more attention than he was, Alex wrote in his book. He kept asking Eddie to play fewer guitar solos. Dave was convinced he was going to be a movie star. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that for 1 second. What do you think about that? That makes
Yeah,
sense
but
to
that
you?
kind of contradicts when he went to the synthesizers. Dave didn't want him on there. You're a guitar hero. No, you don't play this. So you would think if he wanted him less time on the guitar, he'd be all for it. But maybe that was just another way to draw
Ah,
attention. And he saw her. Who knows how he sees things or saw things. But
well,
yeah, I
Dave,
totally believe it, man. I mean, that sounds totally about right. I mean,
but yeah,
that's
Dave.
about how I assume things went. I mean, actually, really, I mean,
Yeah, and then he goes on to say, I think Dave is laying low right now. I don't know his mental state in terms of how he's dealing with all of this. Alex says, I was taught early on that the music field isn't about the notes and things; it's about relationships. And what we all had in Van Halen was deeply entangled. So yeah, crazy times, man. Boy, oh boy. But yeah, oh, Davy, jealous of Alec. If he was a guitar player, okay, but you're a singer, so how can you possibly worry about having the best guitarist around? And Dave talk.
well, isn't that the thing with singers? They all want the focus to be on them. They have the ego. They got, isn't that the
Well, he's the
stereotype kind of
king.
thing?
He was a king of ego, yeah, and
Oh yeah,
stage presence and jumping.
right.
So, geez, I don't know how much more. He couldn't do any more, so he wanted the rest to slow down because I just can't do any. Whereas Eddie could just all night long just jam,
Which
jam,
what he
jam.
doesn't
So,
realize though is when you got both of these guys, it just brings the whole band up, man.
oh God, how
That's
about
what
it?
he doesn't realize, man. It's like having Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig on the same team, man. It's like, dude, you're
Oh
gonna, come on. But
yeah, oh yeah. There's some great performance videos of Van Halen from that era that are just wow. Dave was so out there. He misses half the words, but nobody gives a shit
no, it
because
doesn't
he's just
matter.
jumping around
Yeah.
and God, they were good. Like I say, I saw him in '78. Oof, man, they were climbing, and Black Sabbath was going down. But it is what it is, and that's all I got to say about that. Yeah. Moving on. We're gonna move on to Black Sabbath, but not necessarily Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath apparel. Look at there. There's their Black Sabbath shoes. You couldn't get much blacker than that. That's as black could be, with of course purple. And the headline reads that my absolute favorite colors in the world have always been purple and black, says Ozzy. Yeah, so Adidas has revealed Black Sabbath shirts and shoes. And the shirts will soon be available in very limited quantities. So I don't know what the heck's going on here. They've teamed up with Adidas. Black Sabbath has to debut new shirts and shoes inspired by Birmingham Football Club, Aston Villa. I'm sure that's how it's done. The new merch drop includes shirts dedicated to singer Ozzy Osbourne and bassist Geezer Butler. The shirts will make their on pitch debut today, October 30th, so last week, and limited to 250 units. Wow.
Yeah.
Via the club's web shop. So not a big quantity. So if you got one of them, you don't
Yeah,
want to
that's the
wear it.
shirts. The shoes are just really just like a promotional item. They're not for sale. So they're called Predator boots, called the Preds of Darkness. And yeah, they're not released to the public. They're just kind of a promotional thing. So,
Wow.
which why not? I mean, you made them. I mean, I'm sure they'd sell.
Yeah.
Maybe they will eventually. I don't know. Why not?
Well, yeah, exactly. My gosh, people going to concert wearing their Black Sabbath purple shoes. It'd be fabulous, great. But of course, Ozzy, yeah, it's always been purple and black. It's been Black Sabbath colors for over 50 years. So, wow, they look at it as a huge honor. So, they're into that soccer thing over there, Doc. Whatever. Not a big soccer fan. I don't know, man. You know, back and
Football over
forth and
there,
back and forth and back and forth and back. Ending score 0-0. Oh, that was damn.
overtime. Yeah,
What a waste of 3 hours. Jeez, let's go see a bad movie or something. But nonetheless, so there they go. There's the shoes. They're very, very cool. Like I say, blacker is more black than black. So good for Ozzy and the boys, man. They got their shit together there. Why not? And it keeps saying, they want to do a farewell tour. It's just crazy. They
no,
still want to
no,
do
they've had their
a
farewell
farewell
tour.
tour. Yeah, yeah. Was it a 13 or whatever they call it or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah. But
If you saw Ozzy at
well,
the Hall of Fame, you know he's had his farewell tour, whether he realizes it or
yeah.
not,
Well,
too.
well,
But
listen to this line though. Osborne, who's had to retire from touring due to health issues, but hopes to play 2 farewell shows in the future, was the first to declare his interest in a Sabbath comeback. He called the band's tenure unfinished as they retired without Ward on the kit. Okay, knock it off. They, but
Ozzy, come on, man, he's got to come to terms with this. Got to be torturing his soul. He's a tortured soul over this.
oh yeah,
Just
yeah,
he's got to come to terms with it, man.
yeah. You can't get back up there, man. Every time I see you now, you're in a wheelchair, and
Oh yeah, that
you know,
special throwing at the Hall of Fame, and he barely got out all aboard for the Crazy Train, and that was it. You know, I
so
mean,
he just call it a day, call it a legend. Come on, Ozzy, Jiminy Creepers, man. He just he wants to, but like someone I know, man, he just he wants to, but the body won't allow. So there you go, man. Way to go, Oz. Way to go, Ozster. Hey, we had a had a couple of interesting articles come about people get weird things happening at concerts.
oh, before we go on that, did you see that with Tony Iommi? While we're talking about Sabbath,
Oh yeah, good call, Doc. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, boy, this torques my ass off. Headline. This is the headline from Enemy. Black Sabbath. Tony Iommi says Hard Rock Cafe won't let him have his favorite guitar back. Well, time out right there. I had to definitely look into that one. And sub headline: The metal legend agreed to lend his beloved 1964 Gibson Monkey SG Special to the chain, but the individual who made the deal has since passed away. And apparently, nothing was on paper. Apparently,
bad
and
move.
Tony has claimed that the Hard Rock Cafe won't let him have one of his favorite guitars, despite agreeing that they would. The metal legend told Guitar World that his beloved '64 Monkey Special, blah blah, which he played on the early Sabbath albums, has been in possession of the restaurant chain, and now they are reluctant to let him have it back. The guy who used to buy memorabilia from the Hard Rock came to England and visited me. Oh, I should have done that in English. Oh, Iommi explained. He wanted to buy some stuff, and I said it should be fine. I'd retired the Monkey SG because it was too valuable to me. I didn't want to take it on the road and risk getting damaged. He offered to buy it, and it seemed like a good idea because the guitar could be displayed for people to see and kept safe instead of sitting in a case somewhere in my storage. But the deal was if I ever wanted it back, I could let him know and buy it back for the same price. It seemed fair enough, a good deal. However, the musician revealed that the individual has since passed away and the deal he made is now seemingly lost. We tried to get in touch with Hard Rock to get it back, and they knew nothing about the deal.
Of course,
Oh, boy.
and I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure they, just this sales guy or whatever, this curator guy, or whatever. You know,
He wasn't
probably
there in
thought he had a
England.
great
Yeah.
deal, and probably
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
thought twice that he'd actually want to buy it back. And
Well, they got to give it back
just
to him. That's without question.
yeah,
They got to
I
sell it back to
I
him.
don't think Iommi's BSing about it. I don't think he's having second thoughts or buyer seller's remorse or whatever. I think he's genuinely all right, now it's
This
time I want
guitar,
it back.
yeah, I think it was the first 2 or 3 albums. This guitar, that's what you're hearing. No, no, no. You give it back to Tony, for God's sakes. Man,
Yeah, like I say,
wow. Even
just
if that deal wasn't made, I mean, you give it back. That that guitar is so legendary. The sound that came out of that guitar started a whole new genre. So really, they need to
well,
definitely.
that's probably why they don't want to give it up, man. I mean, that's pretty important guitar. I mean,
Oh, but
they probably
still,
they've probably had that there for I don't know however many years. To say since when, I didn't see a date on it.
no, no,
But
no, no.
whatever, I'm sure it's kind of grandfathered in at this point. It's probably drawn people
Oh,
into the establishment and everything else, and probably a big conversation piece. And they probably don't want to give it up. But
wow, wow.
you
And
know,
then the Hard Rock did commission a run of replicas of the Monkey SG in 2021, including a limited edition batch that included the nicks and stickers of the original model. So, boy, the Hard Rocks, they've been making, you know, they've been capitalizing on this guitar, but nonetheless, you
Right.
know,
Well, maybe that's the
he,
compromise. You know, you give Tony back the original, he gives them the rights to copy it and put it in all their restaurants or whatever, and they go that
oh,
route. But
man, yeah, that's got to be his possession.
yeah, he's got to have that back,
You
man,
don't
for
give
sure.
something like that up, especially with the
Yeah.
music that made. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That rock and roll, and it's a restaurant chain. Damn it, jeez.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so anyway, moving on to some wacky stuff that's been going on stages. Boy, somebody I saw a video today of somebody getting harassed. Who the hell was it? Do you know? Remember that Radiohead Tom York?
Yeah. Tom York. Yeah, I saw his story. Tom York was getting heckled. Yeah, this just came up yesterday. Tom York's doing a show. I'm not even sure where the show's at. Doesn't say. But somebody he has a heckler in the audience yelling out anti-Semitic things against the
Oh,
whole,
really?
what's going on in Gaza, and so Tom York stops the show. Which you know what, if I'm in the crowd, screw that, man. No, I don't want to hear that crap. But don't stop the show because this one idiot. And by the way, if you're ever at a show and you feel like you want to yell something out, turn to the guy or gal next to you and say, "Hey, how about if I did yelled out this? Would that be cool?" And if they say no, shut the
Right,
fuck up. But
right.
anyway, so he yells out what he's yelling out, and Tom York stops the show and calls him up to the stage, and say what you got to say. And of course
Yeah.
he doesn't. And Tom York calls him a coward, and then he storms off stage. So yeah, it
What
was
is
about
going on?
Radiohead. They did a show a few years ago in Tel Aviv, which I don't know. Doing a show in the country doesn't necessarily mean you support the government. I mean, I don't see why that damns them to whatever this guy feels they're guilty of. But I don't know. It's just ugly. It's just stupid. And
Yeah,
probably gonna
and
get
the
uglier and
comments,
stupider.
yeah, the comments or something. So he bailed on the entire crowd because one guy heckled him. Pro move. No, not necessarily.
Right? Just have that guy escorted out, man. Why
Yeah.
are you even giving that guy the time of day?
And why isn't somebody behind
Where
him
you're stopping it,
accidentally?
yeah,
Why
you're
isn't somebody
interrupting the
behind him
show.
actually pouring a drink on him or something?
Yeah,
You
right.
know? Why? Really? Come on.
Yeah, you're interrupting the show. You're offering him time to come up on stage and say his shit, which he's not going to.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. What a
No,
mess.
you never know. It might cause bluff on it.
What a mess, man. Just crazy, crazy. And yeah, yeah. And then, the comments were all over the place. Oh, this comment here. Good to see that there are decent, sane people in this world doing whatever they can to put a spotlight on the ongoing genocide. Blah, 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 blah. Freaking, I wish politics would stay out of music
Yeah,
because
that's the
music's
time and
supposed to
place
be
to
an.
do it at a freaking concert.
God.
This interrupt everybody's good time that they pay good money for, and I'm sure driving him off a stage wasn't the goal, but that's what ended up happening.
But
So
yeah, music's
why?
supposed to be
Why?
an escape, It's supposed to be an escape from all this crap that we got to put up with. Supposed to be an escape, but no. No, no, no. We can't have the escape. No, we got to have jerk offs and to interrupt everything. Gosh, they interrupt everything. Just, wow.
What do
Oh,
you to what end? What did he hope would happen? Just
yeah. Yeah, I'd like to
I don't
know.
know.
Yeah, well, nobody
Radio
knows.
played
That's the
Tel
problem.
Aviv, and I can't have that. I have to let them know how. I don't know. Whatever. Jeez,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
disgusting.
Oh, boy. Here's an odd one we need to put. Here it is. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's a tea room. It's a tea shop. It's not only a tea shop, but it's owned by Billy Corgan's, the own Smashing Pumpkins. Billy Corgan owns it, by golly, and he owns a tea shop in Highland Park. Highland Park is northern suburb of Chicago. High income, nice place. So I'm not surprised I have a tea shop there, and his tea shop's called Madame Zuzu's. And sure enough, a car smashed into Billy Corgan's tea shop, reportedly injuring the singer's mother-in-law. And now that sucks. Yeah, and it was a Mini Cooper, so that's like insult upon injury. Is crashing into a building with a Mini Cooper. So yeah, he crashed into the front window of his shop, and according to his wife Chloe, their son Augustus was working there or was there and managed to get out of the way, but her mother Jenny was injured in the crash. Holy cow, Doc. What in
Right.
the world? This afternoon at Madame Zuzu's, a car in circumstances which remain under investigation drove over the curb and into Madame Zuzu's, crashing through the window and sadly injuring one person. My mother, Jenny, who was spending the day and lunching with my son Augustus, she wrote. Thankfully, he was able to leap out of the way and was not injured. Our family is grateful for the swift assistance of the Highland Park and Deerfield first responders. Of course, first responders are the best. To this, Madame Zuzu's will be closed until further notice and will provide updates as we move forward. Thank you for your support and understanding. What in the world? And he's getting ready to embark on a tour, South America. So,
Yeah, he's just days away from heading down south. Yeah, you got South
wow.
America and then heading to Australia right after that.
Well, at
So
least it's a Mini
he
Cooper
don't
and
have
not a,
time for this. He's Billy Corgan, man. He's a freaking
yeah,
rock star and owns the freaking
wrestling
wrestling and
fan,
shit.
and
Yeah,
oh man, he
yeah,
got
he
no
got
time for
time for
crap like this.
this.
So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happened. Why'd they jump the curb? What the heck?
You know
You
what you
know?
hear about this once in a while, and it always blows my mind, man. You know, like somebody driving through a 7-Eleven or something, man. It's just like I don't know. They think they're going in reverse, and they're going forward, just but still, you're going over
Yeah.
something.
Well,
You know, there's some kind of barrier. I don't know. That just always
oh
blows my
yeah. Well,
mind.
I'm looking at it here. Yeah. Not only is there the curbing, but there's the what do you call them? The wheel stops. The
Yeah,
4 5 foot concrete, what you
yeah,
call them,
just
sir.
yeah,
So he went over two things
park. Yeah,
to
yeah.
smash into the windows. So holy smokes, I can't wait to hear what's going on with that. Because that's nutty freaking stuff, man. Okay, it's time. It's cloud time. Ah, there we go. Oh, stay away, clouds. Yeah, pretty cloudy here, man, but nonetheless, not a bad day. And another great week. A crazy news, man. It just the it never stops coming. And next week, I'm sure it'll be the same because we're already seeing all sorts of wanky stuff going on. So we sure appreciate stopping by. And what do you say to that, there, Doc?
Yes, sir. Another week down, and this week we learned a couple things. Learned allegedly Jakey Lee is looks even more suspicious to us.
Ooh yeah.
Ghost may be setting a new trend that we hope is not.
Ooh.
And this guy at the Radiohead concert was a creep. He's a weirdo. What the hell was he doing there? He don't belong there. But
Oh,
pardon my
wow.
Radiohead.
Wow, good one
But
there.
yeah, you know. But at
Oh.
any rate, yes, another week winding down, and as I said, tomorrow will be the beginning of the end of the world, and we'll
Can't
hopefully
wait,
we'll be
man.
here next Monday to bring you a whole new batch of news from the
Ooh.
rock world. And yes, please give us a like, give us a thumbs up. It's always good to see those. And a lot of first time viewers, please subscribe. We, like I said, we do it every week. And if you enjoy keeping up with this sort of thing, this is definitely you want to keep up with us. So we will see you next Monday. Until then, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.